many ways for children to build their language skills, and one of them might be by doing exactly what you're doing right now. Madison Brazil is with Red Door Pediatric Therapy, and she is here to discuss how television and watching videos can be good for building a child's vocabulary. Good morning to you, Madison, and thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Now, I understand that everything is better in moderation, whether it be television or anything else like that, watching videos, but there are benefits to your child having some screen time. Explain that, please.
Absolutely. So we must always remember that limiting screen time is beneficial for the child, but sometimes it can be difficult to limit entirely, especially when, the temperatures are dropping and playing outside is just not an option, or when we're searching for ways to keep those kiddos engaged, even while traveling. If we have exhausted all avenues, such as, reading, puzzles, coloring activities, and there's just nothing left to do, how can we promote language? While also keeping them engaged. And we can do this by utilizing age-appropriate videos. So it's important that watching a video or TV is done with the guardian. This is important because if a child is watching by themselves, they may not catch on to what is being said or emphasized within this segment. With the guardian, it can be double exposure. The guardian can help highlight, what the video is saying, and then also the video shows a visual for the kiddo. So it cohesively is telling a story together. The guardian will serve as a real life narrator to put those puzzle pieces together in order for the child to truly understand what is happening.
Now that makes
So
go ahead, Madison. Finish your thought.
within these videos, we can target just various things such as, WH questions, emotions, identifying and reading those various nonverbal cues, such as those facial expressions, body language. And as we increase in age, we can work on predictions and summarizing after the videos.
And I'll get into more specifics here with you in a little bit about age appropriateness. But when you say watching with a guardian, how old are we talking about before it's comfortable to let the child watch on their own so they don't have to go through the process, not necessarily have to go through, but they aren't in the process of answering questions and things like that?
Yeah. I always recommend watching it with them as long as your child they want you to, just to really get that double exposure and to really make sure that they are keening in on the most important things, because the guardian will serve and maybe even bring it to real life aspects. So I recommend watching it from, if you're going to do 2 years old, increasing in age as well. So
Okay.
I recommend it all.
All right, now you break it down fairly well as far as what the guardian or parent or grandparent, whoever it is, some things that they can do by stopping the video and saying, okay, now what are we seeing here, and kind of putting yourself in the story. And you're pointing out that that's really important and a thing that is beneficial for the child. Explain that, Madison.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Guardian can have, the remote or the play stop button. And if we're going from a young age, research has shown that from the age of 2, children begin to start to attend to the television and videos and watch in an active, purposeful manner. So for those, 2.5-year-olds, if this is the last resort and you want to watch some TV, you can work on some expressive tasks. You can work on imitating various farm noises, environmental sounds, work on some of those rote phrases. So ready, set, go. The guardian can pause and say ready, set, and then the child can facilitate and say go. So getting that verbal output. So anything that will pertain to that video. And to work on some of those receptive tasks, you can have them point to different objects while asking them, where is the cow? Where's the girl? So those what and where questions for those littles would be recommended to target. And as you start to increase in age, like that 3-year mark, you can start to incorporate those who, why, how many, where questions, while even providing visuals to help guide those littles' thought process. So, and again, as you increase in age, you can start adding more complex questions with more complex responses. You can target those emotions once they get a little bit older and say, how is he feeling? And then you can go into the reasoning and prediction as to why are they feeling that way? What do you think will happen next? And then at the very end, no matter what the age is, the parent or the guardian can summarize with the child using that first then last language sequencing tasks.
That makes sense. Taking, being with that child all the way through and being engaged in what they're
Yes.
watching and help them get a better understanding. Let me ask you this. We're down to a couple of minutes is all, but I've got a question. So many times, whether it be a book or a video, a child will know the thing by heart. They'll be saying the next line before the next line is said. Is there anything wrong with that, of having seen it so often that it becomes ingrained in their memory?
No, not necessarily. I mean, any exposure is good exposure for littles. If it's the same video or if it's the same book, then yes, I recommend switching it up. But that's great that you could still ask those questions, those WH questions for just more exposure, and then relate it back to real life as well. So they can really generalize that learned skill.
Okay, Madison, we're down to about 30 seconds. I have to ask you this, and we need to make it really quick. What if the child doesn't want to participate? Then what?
Well, we had to be really super enthusiastic, super engaged. Make it a journey, make it a quest. Say, I need your help. You need to help me. Kiddos are so used to us seeking us for help, but let's put it in their hands and let's ask them for help. And they'll be engaged and not get discouraged.
You're
so
exactly
just really
right.
making it enthusiastic.
Because children want to help. They want to feel like they are contributing as well. Madison, great stuff. Tell us where we can find Red Door Pediatric Therapy.
We have 4 different locations. We have one here in Bismarck. We have one in Minot, Grand Forks, and Beulah. You can also call us at 701-222-3175 for all locations.
Sounds great. Madison Brazil from Red Door Pediatric Therapy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
You too. All right, stay with us. North Dakota Today will continue right after this.